Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing on with my fall melting basket, and today is going to be vendor wax, but specifically I'm just focusing today on Teddy Bees and Second and Spruce that I would like to melt through, focus on during the fall season. Normally I do a larger vendor wax melting basket that includes all vendors, but because of the sheer amount of wax that I have in all of these melting baskets, I thought it would be fun just to kind of separate them by basket. So I had one basket that was all Scentsy. I have one basket that is Teddy Bees and Second and Spruce, two of my favorite vendors ever. And then I have one basket that's every other vendor in my collection. So I will do a third video of all of that wax. And that way I can kind of focus a little bit on what I'm talking about. I don't have to move through this video as quickly as when I'm doing the vendors together. So like I said, we have Second and Spruce and Teddy Bees today. I pulled as much as I possibly could, but sadly this is not even all of the wax from these two vendors that would fit into a fall category. I know I left out Halloween and Holiday and Halloween Town from Teddy Bees. I'm sure there's others that I am missing just because of the sheer amount of Teddy Bees that I have, but pulled some that I want to focus on and enjoy during the season. Start with Second and Spruce. There's less of the Second and Spruce. So I have a couple of clamshells. We have Ghost Pumpkin. This is a really upscale pumpkin scent. It reminds me a lot of like White Pumpkin and Driftwood from Scentsy. This one has notes of white pumpkin, falling leaves, fig, vanilla birch, and amber. And then fall into winter. Could use this as a transitional fragrance in November if I want to. Vanilla balsam, fir needles, falling leaves, mallow fireside, crisp apple, and cinnamon sugar. And then I have a plethora of mini loaves here. So last summer she did a couple different samplers. One of them was fall. So I've got a couple scents from that sampler in here. Peter Pumpkin Eater. This one is carrot cake, cream cheese frosting, butter pecan ice cream, pumpkin mallow buttercream. Doesn't that sound amazing for Thanksgiving time? Yes, please. And then Ghostly Goodies. This is pumpkin pecan waffle, candy corn cupcakes, toasted mallow, and sugar cookies. One of my favorite scents that I have gotten from her, I cannot wait to melt this, is Jack. This is very much an Alexis scent. Pumpkin seeds, Palo Santo, leaves, oud wood, and cool autumn air. Such a good kind of atmospheric, very fall pumpkin scent. Like this one a lot. I also have a clamshell of this too, so I might get antsy and have to melt both of those. Midnight Campsite plus pumpkin sugared donuts. And I do have Midnight Campsite on its own here somewhere as well. This is so good. Caramelized marshmallow, sugar cookies, hint of smoky campfire, pumpkin donut, and pumpkin sugar donuts. Her Midnight Campsite to me is very marshmallow heavy. It's not your typical marshmallow fireside. It's just got the hints of spices, but it's a very creamy, rich, decadent marshmallow. It is so gorgeous. Sure, I'll find that here in a minute, the plain one, but the combination with the cinnamon sugar pumpkin bakery, really nice. Fall in Love with Honey Pear Cider Donuts. This is definitely a September scent for me. I melt a lot of pear, a lot of apple, a lot of crisp scents in September. It's kind of a good summer to fall transition. Pumpkin pecan waffles, birthday cake, glazed donuts, cinnamon sugar, and honey pear cider donuts. Pumpkin Beach Party. Beach Party is her beach nights type, and then that's blended with pumpkin frosting and creamy pumpkin. And I have a Pumpkin Beach Party from Teddy Bees to share as well. One of the Amanda Dixon In Memory Scents Black Cat Stroll. Obviously a very soothing October fragrance. Apple cider donuts, blackberry, a hint of raspberry, and sugar cookies. Then here is my mini loaf of midnight campsite. So again, it is caramelized marshmallow, smoky campfire, and sugar cookies. So pretty. Partners in Wine. I love this one. This has been a repurchase for me a couple of times now. Wine cellar type mixed with blackberry. So if you like wine cellar from Bath and Body Works, Destination is the first vendor I ever tried wine cellar from in wax form. The Candle Nurse has the cellar. It's that type of beautiful wine cellar scent, but hers has a really rich, very deep macerated blackberry to it. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance for September and early October. Haunted Forest. This was from the Emerald City collection. That will focus. Smoky Pine Needles, Birchwood Pine, Roasted Pine Cones, Scarecrow Hay, Cardamom, and Palo Santo. I love anything with hay in it. I think it makes just for a really atmospheric fall blend. Pumpkin Milk and Cookies. You can really see that label. Pumpkin Cupcakes, Pumpkin Buttercream, Pumpkin Roll, and Milk and Cookies. This one was from the Milk and Cookies sampler last year. I love her Milk and Cookies as well. And then I have one tub, and that is Autumn Air. So I just got this in her most recent RTS. This is Falling Leaves, Fir Needles, Roasted Pine Cone, Cool Breeze, Sandalwood, and Mallow Fireside. To me, this one is very reminiscent of like sweater weather or like Painted Leaves. You definitely get that crisp, fresh, minty, almost eucalyptus note. Really pretty for all season. Okay, so that is it for Second and Spruce, and then we can dive into Teddy Bees. I pulled quite a bit of soufflés and then a handful of tubs. So I've got one soufflé that I chopped up. I must have been planning on melting this last year, and then I never did, so I need to get to it this year, and that is the Black Dread. I've heard so much about this scent, and I've yet to warm it. Yeah, it smells so good. This is Fireside Smoked Oud Wood, Cedar, Warm Embers, and Roasted Marshmallows. And this is 2 years old, so definitely need to work on that. The Watchers. True Oud Wood, Warm Vanilla, Moss-Filled Oak Trees, hints of balsam and fresh air with a background of Fireside Marshmallows. Most of these I have not yet tried. Witches Be Crazy for Roasted Pine Cones. It would not be fall without melting some Witches Be Crazy. This is Birthday Cake, Pecan Waffles, Sugar Cookie Dough, a pinch of cinnamon spiced vanilla, and roasted pine cones. Little Shop on the Corner. This is Fresh Cut Spruce, Black Tea Leaves, Toasted Fig, Sweet Pine Cones, Spiced Winter Fruits, Vanilla, Warm Cedar, hints of nutmeg, and tonka bean. The name of this describes it exactly. It's like you are shopping during like the fall or holiday season, and it's a little kind of like tea shop. So pretty. Beautiful Mess. My kind of atmospheric coffee scent in the mix. All of the best elements of a rainy Sunday morning. Your favorite coffee brewing, a vanilla candle burning, the scent of rain and wood coming in from outside. Part vanilla, roasted pine cones. I love any of her I Heart Vanilla blends. Creamy vanilla marshmallow, vanilla milkshake, boardwalk marshmallow, and roasted pine cones. Autumnal Dream. Very curious to see how this one cured. This one, I wasn't so sure about on cold. It's not a bad scent, but I think it's definitely one I need to put in my warmers and see what I think. Warm Cedar, Oak Trees, Dried Berries, Carrot, Vanilla Sandalwood, Balsam, Creamy Cardamom, Fresh Pine, and Guaiac Wood. Yum. plum and peppercorns. One of Natalie's favorite scents from Teddy Bees, sweet plum, saffron, and black peppercorn. The Realm's Delight. Dark cherries, caramelized brown sugar, saffron, hints of spice, gourmand vanilla, warm amber, and hints of Palo Santo. This one definitely gives me kind of a cherry perfume vibe, also some cherry bakery notes. I think that will be really pretty. Just a classic, I Smell Fall. Cider Lane, pumpkin pecan waffles, and marshmallow fireside. Simple, but amazing. October Lane, this is a Sterling blend, I believe. Warm sugar cookies, pecan waffles, leaves, fireside marshmallows, and Palo Santo. I love the name. I love just kind of those atmospheric scents. I think that will be so pretty. Oak Cider and Woods. Warm mulled cider, cedar, oak, vanilla, toasted marshmallow, pine cones, and smoke woods. More of an upscale woodsy cider scent. Fall in Love. Warm autumn spices, fresh pumpkin rind, charred marshmallows, cedar wood, and pine trees. Ghost of Harrenhal. This one is intense. This is Palo Santo, incense, leather, guaiac wood, and ebony tree resin. I think this is going to be one of those blow you out of house and home type of fragrances. It is so moody though, and it kind of makes me think of Order of the Maesters, where it's just one of those moody fragrances. I think I actually have Order of the Maesters in tubs here to share. Cinnamon pretzel cookie cake. Had to throw in a little bit of bakery. This is one that Steph loves. Soft pretzels covered in cinnamon and sugar, white cake, sugar cookies, and bakery dough. Fireside s'mores. Toasted marshmallows, warm graham crackers, whipped vanilla, and fireside. Old Country Store. This one is truly like you are walking into an old country store. This one's very craft store to me. It is gorgeous. Sweet peach preserves, hot apple pie, warm cinnamon, and a slight hint of pine. You definitely get the apple pie. I think that's the strongest note in here. So if you're not an apple fan, I would not pick that one up. But if you like apple pie, spicy fragrances, that one's really nice. Old World Apothecary. Dark cypress, fallen leaves, charred firewood, mulled citrus, amber, fallen snow, balsam, and hints of warm spice and vanilla. Stay Spooky. Obviously one I will be melting in October. Same with the next one here. Sweet cream, pumpkin pie spices, warm pie crust, Palo Santo, and hints of smoky bonfire embers. The Black Flame Candle, one of my new absolute obsession. This has flannel in it, which I love, and I love Tiffany's flannel. Flannel type, crackling firewood, and warm vanilla sugar. This is so masculine and woodsy, and you get the smoke. It is so, so gorgeous. Bonfire Nights. This is a really nice, like, nighttime bedroom scent, in my opinion. It's a little bit softer. Bonfires, cashmere, vanilla, sandalwood, and roasted marshmallow. The Perfect Apple Pie. I think this is a Bath & Body Works dupe. This is, yes, warm apple pie from Bath & Body. This is baked Granny Smith apple, melted brown sugar, and flaky homemade crust. The Riverlands, one of my fall favorites. I love this. Very earthy, atmospheric. I think this is supposed to be a dupe of Lush Breath of God, if I remember correctly. But then she added Palo Santo. Palo Santo, cool mountain air, balsam patchouli, crisp melon, cedar, crunchy leaves, and sandalwood. It's an absolutely amazing earthy atmospheric scent. Salem. I know Elizabeth loves this one. Gala apples, Fraser fir, figs, mahogany, and cedarwood. This reminds me a lot of, what is that scent from Bath & Body? The Perfect Autumn, maybe. It's a very crisp fall fragrance. I can't remember, but definitely one from Bath & Body that one reminds me of. Tyrion Lannister from the Game of Thrones collection. This is birch and black pepper with a hint of Bartlett pear. Like I said, pear for me is very September forward, so probably smell that in September. Team Apple. This was such a surprise for me. I like this one so much more than I anticipated. Apples, vanilla frosting, sweet sugar cookies blended with sugar and spice. Last souffle is tobacco and smoked spruce. Tobacco leaves, amber spice, fireside marshmallows, and deep smoky evergreens. I have one forget-me-not in this basket, and that is Ichabod Sea. This is fresh pumpkins, clove, bourbon, maple, and toasted oak. Definitely a very spicy pumpkin fragrance. And then I grabbed a handful of, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 tubs here. We have Catacomb of the Witch. This is dark plums, rich vanilla, black amber, bonfire bliss, and vanilla woods. I'm going to need more of this one, and just look how beautiful that tub is. What a beautiful kind of perfumey plum scent. One of my favorites ever, and I don't warm it that often because this is very much a fall scent to me, but this is also a powerhouse. And I know so many of you always ask, what are the Teddy Bees powerhouses? Warm and toasty. If you see warm and toasty, and if the scent notes appeal to you, this is a great one. Toasted pumpkins, a dash of spice, warm embers, toasted marshmallow, and a hint of mahogany vanilla. This, the first time I ever warmed this, I smelled this in my garage. When I was like getting out of my car, I could smell this in my garage. And I feel like that's a testament to a very strong fragrance. It's gorgeous. Wish a Witch Woods. So I'm nervous about this one. I hope it performs better. I have this tub, and then I had a souffle. I melted the souffle of it, I don't know, over the winter or last fall or something, and I really did not get good performance from it. So I'm praying that this tub does better. Fireside marshmallows, buttery sugar cookies, bonfire embers, and Palo Santo. I need to show you that, because if I don't show you it now, it won't be there in my empties, obviously. Fireside marshmallows. Just noticing this one is discolored a little bit. Yeah, the wax is definitely turning colors. Still smells great, but I wonder why. This is only from August of 2024, so just at a year old. So maybe it's just something in the vanilla oil. But this is one of my favorite marshmallow fireside type scents. I think it's just extra sweet and creamy. I love that. Cider cookies. Classic September scent. Apples, cake donuts, cinnamon, caramel, and sugar cookies. Order of the Maesters. I talked about this a minute ago. This is your cozy, it's a rainy fall day. You're staying inside. You're reading a book. Antique wood shelves, leather-bound books, midnight plum, violets, and a touch of dust. Beautiful scent. Wet autumn leaves, moss-covered oak trees, cedar wood, and hinoki smoke lingering off in the distance. Little Pumpkin Beach Party, so my pair to the second and spruce one. Beach nights, pumpkin cupcakes, and marshmallow fluff. Beautiful Pumpkin Beach Night scent. One of the new ones, Sweet November. Have yet to melt this. Warm Pumpkin, Earthy Amber, Aged Wood, Sweet Vanilla, Hints of Plum, Cranberry, Soft Spices, and Baked Cookies. It's got a lot going on in this one. Definitely get a lot of kind of the pumpkin and the spices. We will see how that one does on warm. And then lastly, it couldn't be a Teddy Bees Fall Halloween melting basket without Whipstaff Manor. I love this fragrance. I know so many of you all do too. This is gorgeous. This is crisp fall air, cedar wood, crunchy leaves, hints of apples, fall spice, toasted marshmallows, and charred pumpkin. This is what you melt on Halloween. This smells like Halloween. Oh gosh, this is so good. I need to look at my spreadsheet. The only thing I found was this tub, and I'm praying that I have more than just this tub, or I need to be requesting it a lot because it's such a beautiful kind of conceptual atmospheric scent. Love that so much. Okay, but that is everything for my Second and Spruce and Teddy Bees Fall Melting Basket. Like I said, I just did my Scentsy one, so I'll link that above if you want to see that. And then I will have another video where I will go through the rest of the vendors. So we've got Britta's and Knowles and Lavender and Speckles, and the list goes on and on. So I'm excited to share with you all that wax as well. Thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate you taking your time to be here and hang out with me for a little bit. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.